Hello, this is Danny DeSantis from Through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. Today we will be doing a figure... Okay. Hello, this is Danny DeSantis with Through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. Today we will be doing a figure forge of the new 40k Necron Catacomb Command Barge or Annihilation Barge. I've taken the time to go through it all. I've cut my pieces out, filed them down, and got them ready. And I believe this is actually really easy to make it either setup. So we're going to go through, we're going to point out how to make it the Command Barge or the Annihilation Barge, whichever you need for your army. So I'll take the box out of the way, and we're going to go to step 1. Good, I've already cut all my pieces out, cleaned them up, and got them ready. Step 1 is going to be assembling our first pilot. So, to do this, we're going to take the chest, and glue his chest together real quick. Necron chests are kind of my favorite to do because they go together, no issues, always a nice tight fit. Next, we'll take the legs and this little sled looking thing he's got. Put a little bit of glue in the grooves on the sled. Make sure you put it facing the right way. Flip them over to let it dry. Next, go back to the chest and put the head on. See if I stay consistent. Every Necron head I've glued on has been on my fingers. Ha! Got one. Next, I think this big seat thing they got. Just make sure we got it going the right way. Take a little drop of glue on the bottom part of the seat. Throw our legs around a few dozen times. Slide it into that sled he has. There's a groove on the bottom of the sled. Don't know if you could really have seen it in there. But there we go. There's a little notch in the bottom of the sled that the seat has to go into. It also has to go into a hole down here by his feet. So make sure you got both of those pieces lined up. Got that on. Next, we'll do chest to waist. Another glue in the chest. Put him on the waist, and there's a peg that has to go in his back that I wish I would have seen earlier. But simple enough. Hooked up in the back. This last little wishbone looking thing on top. Slides down around his waist. There we go. Now successfully completed step 1. Step 2 would be the same thing. Second driver. So, all our same pieces, and we're going to do it again. This time we'll go a little quicker. Chest. Maybe. Skip straight to the head. A little sled for his butt. Torso. The waist. All right. Let's get the seat on it. So before, get the notch on the bottom of the seat and that sled. Peg down by his feet. And you got that other peg that goes into his back. So 3 different parts. Got to line up all in one shot. Still, not that hard to do. Let's get our wishbone on there. There we go. Step 2, complete. 2 drivers down. At this time, they've got no arms. Don't panic. They come on later. Next, step 3. Step 3, not that hard. 4 pieces, the jets that go on the back. Now, I've taken everything already apart, cleaned it up like I said. When you guys do this, I suggest you slow it down a little bit. Only take off the pieces you need. Because some of these pieces look a lot alike. If you cut them all off and put them in one big pile and go back to them later, you might be kicking yourself to try and find them all. But, so, jets, these ones really aren't hard at all. A little bit of glue around almost any of the edges, and put them together. When you've got a left side, you got a right side, you got 2 of each. And you can't put a left with a left, you can't put a right with a right. So, not that hard to get it right. Now, our first big pieces. Unfortunately, these ones look like I'm going to need a third hand, so we're going to see how that's going to work. But it's our great big step 4. So, take our top piece, take our 2 middle pieces, and our bottom piece, and sorry, I'm flipping around a little quick here. I've not assembled one of these yet. So, kind of learning with you. Alright, so we'll take our big crescent moons here, glue them together and hope I'm right. You got 2 pegs on each end. Looks like a good spot for glue. A little bit around some of the seams. And slap them together. Pinch that tight for a second, make sure it's all holding. Oop, sorry. There you go. Now, this is where it gets fun. We got our bottom pieces, which the jets need to go And on top of that, got to get our riders in. So, said earlier, third hand, maybe, possibly even a fourth. These 4 different pieces that all got a hinge on there. Put this little round ball that I still don't fully know what it's doing. Then our top piece. So we have a giant Necron plain sandwich looking thing going on. I'm not even sure what I just pulled off. Alright. All in all, it kind of pinches together pretty nicely. I could just figure out maybe what parts to glue together to make it hold. Well, we got that piece held together. And the best piece I guess I can go with is I should have glued the seats in. Looks like those are our best points of contact. So, go back and see if I can fix that now. Take a dab of glue on the top and bottom of the seat. See if we can slide it in there. Get it to hold on that side. The other side I think I'm a little too late for. So, just going to have to let it be and see what I can get. Alright. Spot in the bottom of the seat. I'm giving up. We're going to try and speed it up. Wasted enough time on this one little piece. Spot where the seat connects over here. Speed it up. If you look inside, there were pegs where the seat was supposed to sit on top and bottom. Got those a little off. But, oh well. Go back to putting the jets on the back. The jets call for no glue, so slide them in. Finally, step 4. That was a nightmare. Let's move on to step 5. Step 5. Fairly simple. 2, 3 pieces. So this one's a lot less exciting. Nice big tail piece, huh? So, we will take the right side, because it's got our circular indent. It's got another one up top, so we'll do some glue up top. And we'll pick a seam at the bottom down here. And a little bit up, sorry. I got some up top, some at the bottom, the seams, No, nice little jagged part sticking out there. Slap top and bottom together. That's the way it should go on. Got this fancy little emblem up top. A little bit of glue on the top. Emblem only goes one way. Which of course wasn't the way I tried the first time. And there we go. Now, take right inside our circle. A little bit of glue across the top. And stick it on the back. Alright, now we've got a barge that almost looks like something. Step 5. Something finally went right. Step 6. We're going to give our two drivers a command panel. First things first. Oops. Take this little almost batwing looking thing. Well, that fits on easy enough. On we go. Next, this will be one of those parts where I say you guys should probably cut it off and do it as you're going. I'm not exactly sure which one's which. Fingers. All right. Well, because I'm not all the way sure which one's which because of how I did it, I'm going to glue our console boards on these side fins first. Then I'm going to hope I can make everything fit together. Afterwards. If not, lots of fun. Glue everywhere. Well, at least that piece looks pretty good. Fits in there nice. So one board. Two boards. With our front little end cap here. Oh, sorry. It's a front end cap, or our more fancy piece. It's one of those choices you get to make when you put these models together. I don't like the end cap. End cap kind of gives it like a gun effect. This thing's going to have enough guns on it. I want our nice fancy front piece on it. There we go. It's called a barge. You know, looks like the front of a boat. Almost like an old Viking boat. But there we go. Next. Now with the circuit boards on them, they're going to fit a little bit nicer. If I wouldn't have been so covered in glue, I definitely would fit a little bit nicer. One. That's two. There are our control panels. Step 7. Step 7 is going to be dealing with our back. Step 7 also has a misprint. It says you're supposed to grab piece 31 and piece 39. I couldn't find piece 39, but I could find piece 59, which looks amazingly like piece 39. So, we're going to do it that way. You'll have 3 braces per side. It's be one of those spots where I don't think you should take them off until you're ready for them, because all 3 braces look a lot alike. They do at least come with 3 distinctive pegs. So, if you do take them off ahead of time, you can go back and identify them. But so it's kind of up to you. Take them off ahead of time, or just take them off when you need them. But we'll do peg 1. Peg 2. And three. Try and put that down to let it dry without gluing myself to it. And grab our other one. One. Bottom one's square. Middle one's rectangle. Top one's triangle. I guess that's not too bad. And that was a little more than I wanted. Now, we've got our braces on. Flip them over, and if you look, there are... Oh, I thought there were. Yep, there's 3 distinctive grooves on the back of our arc. And there's also one down on the base, so it can sit flat with the ground. So we'll do drop of glue at the bottom across all three of our braces. Line it in at the bottom. And lean it up against the 3 pegs you got. At least try to. Remember that part where I said I got a little too much accelerant? Yeah. And we'll try it again. One. That's 2. And we've got our bag. On to step 8. Step 8. Remember those pilots with no arms? They get arms. Oh, once again, this is the part where it tells you which arm goes where. Now that I've already mixed them up, I'm going to suffer a little bit, but I think I can get it. Take left arm, left pilot. Drop of glue. In with the arm. Necron arms. Gotta have some of the smallest joints in the universe. It's arm 1. Arm 2 would be a little more fun because his hand actually touches the circuit board like he's playing with the dial. So we've got a dial we've got to attach and a shoulder. So now we'll see how good we did with that command board. I'm going to argue that's his mouse, and he's picking it off the board for now. So he'll pick it up a little more. That's a fail with arm joints. But now that I've sprayed them, I'm going to let that side sit, and we will do the other side. And come back to our left guy. So, arm in socket. Give him a shot, let him dry. One arm. Switch sides. So, way down in there. Next arm. Which now puts us back over to our left guy again. This time we'll go glue in socket instead of on the arm. Left guy, right arm. Goes back to that little mouse ball thing. Wow. All right. I sprayed him a little too much. This time let's put it back on the arm again. Alright. So, like I said, there we go. Got 2 pilots. 2 arms each. Those are overly delicate and cramped. Tweezers, probably going to need those on this one. Next, step 9. We get to assemble your choice of guns for the bottom. You've got 2 different types of guns. So, I'll grab those and put those together real quick. Then, this time I'm going to be picky and not really choose a gun. I'm going to choose I want both. So, do the first gun. After we glue the sides, we got to put the front barrel on it. Oops. Well, for everything else, they had so many big pegs, nice edges. This thing's got to have the small pegs and the pain in the butt edges. It's one gun. It's 2 guns. Takes care of step 9, first half. Now we get to move on to the second half, which will be the turret this gun is mounted to. So, a few different pieces. Nothing horribly exciting again. First, we'll put together what looks like big ammo packs. Maybe. So 1. 2. For whatever reason, this gun gets a spinal column. I can pick the pieces up. Simple enough. flap down. Here's where we're going to make these guns interchangeable. When you put them on, it just tells you to put the peg up and in. Unfortunately, the gun weighs just a little too much and it falls out. But, I'm cheap. And take one of our earth magnets that we got. Glue it on to the hole side, the top side. Maybe. So now I got a magnet on that side. Going to have to make sure that our magnets for our guns match up. So we'll let that one dry all the way, and we'll get to that. We'll get to our two big ammo packs that we have. Lots of little grooves. I'll dry fit them to make sure I know which way they go. Looks good. Add some glue. Next side. Same basic thing. Dry fit looks good. Glue. Finger. Finger. And here's where our rib cage issue comes in. Somehow, you got to get 3 holes on each side of our ammo packs to glue to this rib cage. Which, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Really small parts. Try to add just a dab of glue. Next up, like I said, we've got these guns. Got to get our magnets set up so we know which one's which way it goes. So, I'll match mine up to the top. Or not. Got it backwards already. Gonna go for this gun for our example. Dab of glue. Magnet. Speed it up. Don't want to be sitting here all day. Well now, notice the minor problem with that magnet, that motor. There's a nub on the back of these motors, or on the guns. There's holes. It's supposed to go into that motor. Don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. So, I'm going to have to cut mine off, which I'm not going to bother doing on tape right now. I will deal with that later. So, go back to mounting this gun on the bottom. Two nice pinholes. Drop on each. Hold it down. There we go. Takes care of step 9. On to 10. Our end pieces, which I'm sure we know which way is up, which way is down. I think I'm going to have to give GW some credit on this one. At least all these pieces that used to fit flat together from stuff I've done now has grooves and slots and holes and everything you would need to make it go in nicer. So you get more surfaces, a more direct hold. There's that side. Now, our other side. I oversprayed so bad, we should probably be good, but still wrong. There's our second side. Next, more glue into our command stand. Eventually I might be able to read these things right to get it in. There we go with that one. Hit up our other side. Simple enough. Our command stand. Yeah. Make sure I got it lined in real quick when I might still be able to move it. It's got 4 pegs. Stand itself has 4 pegs on it. There's 4 pegs on the deck of our barge. Slap all 4 pegs together, and you've got a standing command post. We're going to let the command post set all the way up before we try and put it back on. Now we're going to move over to our commander himself. The neck extension. So we can get it in there before we get the chest piece on. And lose the ability to actually reach it. It's small. I'm covered in glue. Gonna tweeze it. Maybe. Alright. There's that one. Heat it up real quick for glue. And we'll get the chest piece in. Next, I feel like failing with another arm, so I'm going to move on to that right arm. I'm going to have an outward pointing motion, because that's the way he should be doing if he's actually commanding the troop. What fun is it to hold your weapon straight up in the air? Point forward, tell him where to go. Alright. Next, we'll move on to the head. Dab of glue on the neck. We'll take our big headdress Necron skull. Put it right on top. Move to the back next. In his back, there are 2 pinholes in it that match up with his spinal cord. So, a little bit of glue on his back. Take that spinal cord. And push it in the holes. Or not. Well, that'd be one more case of over-accelerant. Next, we'll move on to his legs. And we'll go with his arms. Well, as far as I'm concerned, can't play a Lord without an orb. So, he came with one, we're going to give him one. So we'll take the orb arm. Some glue at the elbow. Pick up. Back to our body. In with our glue. On with our arm. Quick shot. Takes care of everything but that back piece I messed up earlier. So we're going to dig out that glue. This time we'll put the glue on the spinal column. Press it back in. So there we go. We've got one Necron Lord ready for his command barge. Go back to putting our bridge on, now that we've given it time to harden all the way up. There you go. A bouncing Necron. That would be the command barge. But, like I said, we're going to do the command barge and the Annihilation barge. So we've got one more step to go. So that was step 10. Take the bridge back off. And we're on to step 11. First we will assemble our barrels. It looks like we've got males and female ends. Make sure we get all of those in the right order. And before we actually put them on, we've got to make sure we've got the fronts, because they've got to go in when we glue them on this time. So we'll grab one female end, one male end, and one nose piece. No, them. Yeah, the fronts don't go on when you put them together, they go on afterwards as an end cap. Sorry about that earlier. Have to look at it again. One barreled gun together. One end cap flying around the room. Put that together. One gun down, one gun to go. And there's our next one. A little bit of glue on our ends. Get our end caps on there. Now, we've got the, normally it's a crystal holder as far as I'm concerned from the old monolith. So we'll take that, put our gun holder in there now. Looks like the gun actually glues together with the one peg in the middle. Well, I guess it's closer to the back. So, we'll officially link our twin-linked weapons. And then again, with the spinal columns on the weapons. Ammo packs on both sides. It's all had some time to dry. There's 4 more pegs on the bottom, which go in the 4 slots on our disc here. The disc is universal, doesn't matter which way you go with it, it's going to be the same. So, we've got our disc. We'll take our monolith topper. Which snaps in. Take our gun, which sets in. Maybe. Okay. So maybe we gotta set the gun in before we snap the gun in. Nope. I lied. We got one more piece to glue together. Our disc to our topper. Four flat edges, 4 flat edges. Get the gun in with a little bit of a twist. Got 3 nice pegs for it, and there we go. We have the brand new Necron Annihilation Barge. So, it's really not anything you have to do special to make this modification to go from one to the other. So you get 2 choices you got to make while you play. You get choose from your front. You get to choose which gun you carry on the bottom, which so I'm going to go back and modify some, because mine's not going to shoot the way it's supposed to. But do gun for the Annihilation Barge. Take the gun off. Put in our command center. Put in our Lord. I thought I was going to be slick and get that in real quick and not have to push it down. But command center and Lord, and you have a command barge. That's all you need to do. Said, had a few errors with the pilots, so when you do it, make sure you spend a few extra seconds, get them lined up. But other than that, it's doable. Take your time, look at what you're doing. This is Danny DeSantis. Come check us out later. I'm going to put together the rest of the new Necrons best I can once I get some glue off me and get out of here.